What's up, guys? This is Creeper from Happy Accidents on Area 52. I just wanted to go over the Guardian Challenge. This is just a recording of a Twitch VOD, so sorry for the bad quality. First things first, I want to go over my talent choices for this. So I went with Blood Frenzy for the Thrash Rage. You need it. It's pretty much a necessity. Brambles could be used, but I really don't think it's a good option, especially in the first phase when you really need the range to keep, or the rage to keep Mark of Ursel up, and that's the only way you can really get it. I used Wild Charge. Wild Charge is great. You should definitely use it. I haven't been used to using it. This is my first time playing Guardian, this expansion, or really this tier. So I wasn't used to using Wild Charge, but if you get used to it, it definitely saves you. Balance Affinity is a must. You can't go with anything else. You can use Mighty Bash or Typhoon. I chose to go with Typhoon in this. I just used to it, and Mighty Bash is good for the last phase, but either one works. I went with Incarn instead of Galactic Guardian. A lot of people use Galactic Guardian, and it definitely helps with the first phase with Eyes, and it gets you more rage in the first phase, which can help. But I find Incarn is better to make the DPS check in the second phase, of course, even though it's not as intense as people make it out to be. And in the first phase, I feel like Incarn gives you so much damage that it allows you to push at a good point where you don't feel like you're just constantly getting infernals and having to pop orbs. Really, going into the last phase, you want 2 or 3 orbs up, so if you don't push early enough, it can be a problem. I went with Guardian of Loon, although Survival of the Fittest would have been fine too, didn't really matter, and of course Rend and Tear. So those are my talent choices. As far as gear, if you don't have loofahs, I, I just recommend it. I did not have loofahs until yesterday, and that's the only reason I started working on it. If you have Echo Wraith, it'll work as well. I didn't have Echo Wraith, but Loofahs and Echo Wraith gives you a ton of range and allows you to hit the boss all the time, no matter what. I chose to use Loofahs and Pants, just because I feel like Pants are better in the second phase. And also, I don't have Echo Wraith, but if I did, I still don't think I would use it. I feel like the range on Swipe really doesn't matter. You do enough damage with just Thrash and Moonfire anyway. As far as trinkets, I would go with a DPS combo. Some people use tanky trinkets. I don't find it necessary. Fang of Tichondrius is really, really good for this. I use Eye of Gorm with haste on it as my second trinket, but Fang of Tichondrius gets you a ton of healing because of the Infernals taking increased damage. So like hitting for 5 mil and getting that leech back is really good. As far as your weapon, you need to have 42 traits. No matter what, you need positive, and I recommend 7 Thrash Relics, or 3 for Thrash Relics plus 4 points in the Thrash trait. So make sure to have that. I think it helps a lot, and it definitely makes the first phase easier, which is really the only problem I had was getting through the first phase because I'm an idiot. So let's go into the actual encounter. If you have any other questions about gear and stuff, feel free to ask in the comment section. I'll get back to you. So, first thing I do is I pot, I Moonfire, I Thrash, and then I Incarn, and just spam Thrash for days. I do Moonfire this. It's a DPS loss, I guess you could just Thrash and not worry about the eye, but I hate having to deal with these eyes. One Moonfire should kill them. You'll see me Moonfiring twice a lot of the time to get them down quicker. I do pop Rage of the Sleeper right here because it helps a fuck ton with these spirits, and it gets you at a high health point for the Infernals that come up. It really, really helps. All that you have to remember with these eyes is that Moonfire them as soon as they come out, and then I would make a weak aura tracking it. It definitely helped me. And as soon as you see the timer getting low, face towards the beam and it'll fix it. As far as Drain Life and all his other casts, Drain Life needs to be interrupted pretty much immediately, unless you for some reason need him to heal. I had it happen a few times where I wanted to push a little bit later, so I let him Drain Life, but usually that doesn't happen. So I recommend that you interrupt Drain Life with a ranged ability so you don't get stacks, but it's not necessary. You can just go in, get 2 stacks, and then come out. Because our circle is so big, we always have to get 2 stacks when we go into the bubble. So make very sure that you have a high enough health that you're not gonna screw yourself by going to 2 stacks and then get hit by a casting and die. So yeah, as far as the orb usage, so whenever Nether Horrors come out, the first set I popped Rage of the Sleeper and I was fine. The second set, the third set, and the fourth set, I orb them all as soon as their cast goes off, so it stops them from casting forever. Sometimes I did mess up, like right here, you have one casting. Just kill it before it gets to you and kite it with Thrash Slow. It makes it really easy, and then the reason I use Typhoon is for those ads getting out of control, or if I need to interrupt one of his casts, and it goes awry, I just Typhoon him, and it makes it a lot easier. So, there's that. Drain life. Always use Mangle when you get in melee range of the boss and put a Mark of the Ursol up. I waste a lot of rage because I'm an idiot, I don't know. But using a Mangle is definitely helpful. So, as far as the Nether Horrors, the reason you need positive, which is your golden trait in your weapon, and thrash damage relics, is so you can kill them in 2 thrashes, 2 or 3. Because they move with you, it makes it a little bit harder. So you really just need to make sure that you're using an orb on them, either when they start casting, or if you use an orb, make sure that by the time they're going to get their cast off, that you have a second thrash going off so you actually kill them. Because if you don't, they can chase you and eventually kill you. They're actually a really good source of healing though, because if they do hit you, it's not going to kill you immediately, and you can frenzied regen and get max health. It's probably not the best way to do things, but that's how I did it. As far as Infernals go, just dodge smashes. I just run in a circle constantly, and it seems to work. And just make sure that you can use Mangle on them, and I would just kite them around in a circle and use Thrash on them otherwise, unless you feel confident going in melee range. So here's the hard part, I guess, to some people. So the first things first, I have these 2 weak ores. I guess I could, if y'all need them, post in the comment section, I'll post them. But first things first, he had this jump. Always have Mark of Ursol for this jump. It is the biggest reason I died in this last phase. I just would get so low health and I couldn't recover because I didn't have Mark of Ursol up. So make sure you have that. As far as the Annihilates go, when he annihilates, just make sure to have Iron Fur up. For the first one, I had Rigid the Sleeper and Incarn, so I didn't need anything. The second one, I just had Iron Fur, I believe, and maybe Barkskin. And then the third one I didn't even get because I pushed so well. I have no idea how I did it. Using the orbs when he's casting Annihilate is super helpful to make this fight overall longer. That's why I tried to go into this phase with at least 2 orbs active. So that when he casted Annihilate, I could pop one and he wouldn't cast it for another 4 seconds, and I could just keep doing that. As far as the interrupt, if you do not interrupt, it's a wipe. Unless you cleanse yourself with the orb, but I would just interrupt it. It's very easy. Make a huge weak ore. That's what I did. You can't miss it. That's the only thing you need to interrupt in this phase. So, and as far as everything else, just make sure that you're still dealing with Nether Horrors appropriately. Pop an orb if you need to blind them. If not, use Incap Roar to make sure that you're just interrupting their cast before they kill you or kill Prophet Villain. And as far as the Infernals, just make sure to kill them as you can with Thrash. But pretty much this whole phase is just Thrash spam. The only thing about the last part of this is these Nether Horrors will spawn. I've seen it on 2 or 3 videos. Make sure that you kill them, or they'll kill Velton, and then your whole thing will be screwed. But otherwise, that's it. If y'all have any questions, hit me up in the comment section, and I'll be happy to help. Thanks.